Good afternoon. Welcome to our home buyer seminar. We get together every Wednesday at approximately 5 p.m., sometimes 4, to be honest, when we're too busy. But today, 5 p.m., and we talk about all things buying houses. I'm Bill Gross, I'm a broker here in Los Angeles, along with my good friend and colleague.
Yes, Patricia Castillo.
And our good friend and lender.
Gustavo Segura. Hello, everybody.
We get together to talk about all things real estate buying houses, whether it's your first home, just closed a deal for a first home time buyer. I want to talk about that program. Or you're buying a trade up home. We're here to help you. And more importantly, to educate you and help answer your questions. So we're live streaming this on all kinds of social media because we're those kind of people. It's on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. If you have questions, you're watching it live, put the question in. Or a shout out. If you're watching this and you recognize me being the more important of the three, say, hey, Bill, you're the greatest. And then if you put something else, I'll just not ignore it. So anyhow, and if you're watching on the replay, like it, save it, give us a shout out, ask your questions. We want to participate. So let's start off. I got to think the most excitement today in all of real estate has to be those interest rates. Gustavo, how about those interest rates, huh?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we keep on seeing them going up a little bit at a time. Last week, we got great news, right, from the Fed that they weren't going to move and raise anything on the Fed fund rate, but it was their tone. It was their, their hint of maybe next time we will raise it up. That they're not done, right? It was a pause, but they're not done, and that just caused rates and for investors to still think that there's a lot of inflation going on right now. So yeah, they're definitely pushing up.
Take a look at the graph. We had been, if you go back to the beginning of the year, all year between 6 and 7, and around July, we went above 7, and we stayed above 7 really ever since. Yeah. And then we bumped above 7 to almost 7.5, came down. Almost 7.5, came down. Up, came back down. We hit 7.5, came back down. Came up, stayed there for a day, and now we're up 7.65.
Yeah. So Woo! We definitely passed it now, and it's of course, if I'm a first-time home buyer or even just a move-up buyer, everybody pays attention to the rates. It hits the bottom line, it hits the payment, it hits your money, so it makes total sense. I've been talking to buyers. They're looking at, hey, maybe I'm going to pause, I'm going to wait. I want the rates to come down. I don't know what to do. They're asking for what's going to happen next month, Gustavo, right? I'm trying.
Well, because it's all Gustavo's fault. If you don't like the rates, call Gustavo at 714-334-4566 because it's his fault. He propped up the rates a little bit on us.
Exactly. Yeah. So I've been dealing with a lot of those questions. And that's why I sent over that home price. Home prices are turning higher because it's not all bad news. It's not all bad news. Yes, the rates are moving in the wrong direction for all of us. But if we see that home prices turning higher there, where I have that chart for you, that's going to show how the last 7 months, 8 months, 5 reporting agencies have been showing month over month appreciation. So values are staying strong. Values are going up. So, I don't know if you have it up or you're just sharing it at the moment, but that will just show people how right now we're tracking anywhere from 5 to 9% appreciation for this year. Last year was around 6%. This year we're anywhere from 5 to 9%, depending on the reporting agency. So there's still good news. Still home prices. If you're buying now, they're still appreciating. You're still gaining equity, and it's still a good investment. Real estate in general always continues to be a good investment.
Well, and the advantage is because we're talking about inflation is what's driving up rates. Inflation, it drives up everything. It's like monopoly. More money, everything goes up in price. And historically, one of the best hedges against inflation rising has been real estate. And if you bought a property last year, your fixed rate mortgage isn't going to change, but everything goes up in price. Even if your property only goes up 2% a year, it's like free money to you, right? In a sense. Mm-hmm. And your rents go up 2 or 3%. Well, if there's already cash flowing, it only goes up. So ultimately, the best hedge against rising inflation is real estate. That's why we're in the business. So Gustavo, you had two charts you wanted to share with us today. I want to bring them up. Since the interest rates are all your fault, I thought we might let you share that. Just kidding. Just kidding. So go ahead, explain to us what are we looking at here on this chart on how.
Yeah. So so you've got the yellow one up here, the how to tackle this market for sellers, right? On this one,
Yeah.
this is a typical situation where the house is 350,000 and your typical 7.875 rate, let's say, and you're looking for maybe a price reduction. You're like, no, I don't want to pay for that much. I'm negotiating price reduction. Well, let's say that goes down $15,000, right? Or $20,000. Let's say here at 335, 15,000. Now your payment is going to go down by about $97. You still get the same rate. But this is where, we go after that seller buy down. I wanted to put some numbers so people can actually see how a seller buy down, an actual credit, can be used to buy down the rate, permanently buy down the rate. Let's say you go from a 7.8, you take that money, the 10,000, and you buy down the rate to a 6.375. Now you're saving over $300. So, and you're still paying $350,000 for that home, but you do get $10,000 towards your, your either your closing cost or your rate in this case.
Wow. Whoa, hold on one second.
Yeah.
I'm not that smart. Hold on one second. So what you're showing here is this is the current. They're listed for sale 350. Don't have any offers. You could lower the price to 335.
Yep.
And in current rate conditions, the total payment would be $21.86.
So you save $97.
About $100. Not
Yeah.
that much. Really, people buying a house is not that big a deal most
Right.
commonly.
Right.
But here instead, if you keep the price at 350, so the seller nets the same, but the seller takes $10,000 off instead of 15,
Right.
and applies it to the rate, the customer's payment is actually $300 lower than overall, or about $200 lower than if they got the price reduction.
Exactly. So in this case,
Wow.
getting that seller concession is going to be much beneficial to both the buyer and
Wow.
the seller, and then that's going to help bring in more buyers to your listing, more buyers to the market. And, hopefully we can make this a quicker sale, right? Everybody will be yes on it.
I'll tell you what I've noticed. I don't know what you see, Patricia, as a great listing agent like I am, that the buyer's agents coming with offers now, like 2 years ago, I wouldn't waste my time because it was just noise. But now I'm getting buyer's agents who are bringing loan pre-approved structured deal. This is a case where a buyer's agent, by preparing ahead, explaining to their customer the options,
Right.
can actually make an offer that's higher than maybe another offer to the seller, and the payment's lower to the customer by structuring it all around, and becomes a win-win.
Yeah, exactly. And you get pre-approved a little bit higher because that rate, like I said, it hits the bottom line right away. As you can see there, it's over $300 difference from the original example scenario there. So the last part here, it's kind of like buying that home for $300,000, because you can see here, in order for you to keep that same savings of $318, that means that if you keep the same rate at 7.875, that means that the house would have to be at 300,000.
And is that rate fixed for 30 years at 6.375?
Yeah, that would be a permanent buy down. That would not be a temporary buy down.
Patricia, do you know this?
This is where
She's muted. Okay.
Oh, there I go. It's
Did you know
because there was
this?
an ice cream truck passing by.
Did you know this? Were you keeping this a secret from me?
No, actually, Gustavo had explained this to me before. So I think it's a really good opportunity for buyers and buyers agents to negotiate this, into the offer, so that
Yes.
as long as everybody understands, what the numbers look like and how it's going to be a successful win for the seller and the buyer, because they can afford the payment and it brings down the rate. The seller's still getting their price.
Right.
It's a great opportunity. So this is something that, I wanted to create a flyer like this, or maybe
Yes.
novels, but I'm going to put it on
Yes.
the listing that I have coming up this week because it's closer to about
Yes.
800,000, and this would really help buyers get into
Yeah.
this home.
Yeah, and you know the big thing here, a lot of people may say, well, my house is just barely up for sale this weekend, right? And it's like, I get it. It's the first weekend. You're not going to be giving away $10,000 seller credits. But like Bill said, you maybe are, instead of 350, you're like, look, we're going to go full asking price and at 360, and can you give us back 10K, right? We have no issues that the property will appraise for $10,000 more than the asking price. You know, a lot of that's no problem, you know? So it's just about putting together a deal, right? Structuring it correctly so that the seller gets what they want, and the buyer can be helped out throughout the process as well.
Right, because the rates for them to come down to 6.375, we probably won't see that till next year sometime. And
Yeah.
it probably won't be till maybe spring, summer.
Right. Yeah.
That's amazing. You know, I think mind blown. Yeah, I would put that on my listing, and I'll bet the numbers are even more compelling with a 20% down property, because the buy down is only for 80% of the value rather than 100%. I would think that would have more of an impact mathematically. That's phenomenal.
Yeah. So definitely something to think about as, you know, as we're trying to get these houses to move. I had a
Yeah.
house that I saw. I go online and I see houses that have been there for 30 days and they already have like a $50,000 price reductions. And I'm like, no, you know, we don't want that. We want to do this, you know. And this is what I'm reaching out to fellow agents to say, hey, this is what you want as a listing agent. You want to make sure your seller is cooperating, and you can raise that price back up to the original, you know, because doing this, helping the buyer buy down their rate, is going to be much more beneficial than them dropping the price down. As you can see, the first scenario, they dropped it down. It was only like $97, $100.
Right.
So
Wasn't that substantial, but $300 is.
it's big. Yeah. And
Yeah,
the
this is
seller,
based off of a low price. I mean, you know, we're
Yeah.
talking about 350,000, but this is
Yeah.
maybe a very small 1-bedroom, 1-bath condo somewhere in Los Angeles. So we're, you know, thinking more about on a larger scale, maybe homes that are in the 750 to
Right.
900 range. You know,
But the
this
concept's the same. You would just double the numbers. It would all double the savings, right? I mean, in
Yeah.
fact, if
Exactly.
you double the numbers, your savings are going to be like 636 on a $700,000 property. You can basically give the person a free leased Lexus or something along with the car. And I think this is why home builders always have these kind of programs to
Yeah.
capture buyers, to get them to focus on the options and to be more strategic. So
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Wow.
set their rates. They have their in-house lenders, so they do something like this to get buyers into the new construction homes.
Well, sometimes they work with in-house, sometimes they work outside. But part of why they use in-house is what they don't want is a mortgage broker just to pocket the $10,000 and not get the buyer in the deal. And but the truth is, the numbers are the numbers, and if we're offering it, though I think you can always say special program offered by Gustavo Segura, and attach his flyer. They're going to call him and want to walk through it. So,
Yeah.
oh, that's fantastic. Okay, you want to look at the other graph now?
Yeah. The other graph is
This is blind blowing. I'm just. Psh. I know this is true, but I haven't taken the time recently
Yeah.
to look at the numbers there. Okay, so oops, wrong one.
And this one is the other one is the home prices that we were just talking about, right? So
Okay, hold on.
that's where, you know, we're seeing the appreciation month over month. So you might hear, oh, you know, the downfall of the next crash could be coming up, all that. I think that has kind of gone away a little bit. And this is to show that month over month, different agencies, they report, they analyze, they look at the sales that are going on, right? What's going on in the market, the listings, you know, multifamilies, they look at everything. And here you can see that they all show appreciation month over month. And we're tracking for 5 to 9% appreciation just this year. So last year was 6%. Let's say we end up in the same place, 6%. So each year we're still in that historical 5% plus of appreciation with your home. So definitely still a good opportunity to invest.
Yeah, and again, once you buy the property, if it makes sense and you have fixed rate mortgage, your payment doesn't go up, but the house doesn't go up 5% per year.
Yeah.
If you put only 10% down, then your investments that is the 10% is going up like 5% times 10 per year as well. It has that kind of effect. And so that's where the wealth building in inflationary time, that's why it might be harder to get in with inflation, but this is the time to get in and make your investments.
Yeah. So just wanted to share a little bit of this.
Thank you, Gustavo. That was
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, it's a great graphic, and it really paints that clearer picture to look at what the payments would be like, and also appreciation for property values. I mean, they're definitely holding steady, and prices are, I don't really see a lot of price reductions right now. I've seen a few, but not too many.
So, Patricia, you held an open house on one of my listings this weekend. What was that like? You held it Friday and Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, it was pretty busy. Since that home had been closed for a few years, a lot of the neighbors were interested, but a lot of the neighbors have been there for 30, 40, 50 years, and they've paid off their homes. They're the baby boomers. So they're looking to help their kids buy a property, even if it needs work. And so, it was a lot of good conversations with a lot of the locals there as far as what the home looks like. They can envision their kids there, their grandkids. This home was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with 2 extra bonus rooms. So it's very, very spacious and a lot of interest. That's what I was seeing. It was a lot of interest, but also some uncertainty as far as what we were just talking about, the rates. So it was a really good weekend as far as activity with buyers, talking about different payment structures and things like that. So I actually was pretty busy all weekend, just afterward, following up with them, talking to them after the open house, and going over different scenarios. So a lot of parents wanting to help their kids buy a first home.
Well, and I think that's encouraging that, what's interesting is how few offers I got from people attending the open houses. We had offers before and offers still coming in. And I think a lot of buyer's agents got kind of lazy where they're making offers but not showing the property. And I'm one by one telling them that we're not considering offers or countering unless you've been to the property. There's no, at some point, not worth the paperwork. So the market's
Right.
changed, and I think the lessons I'm taking today are for all of us. It's not that the market is disappeared; it's that we need to follow good fundamentals. And a lot of agents who grew up on a market that was easier to work in and cut corners or never learned how to do things properly, but those days are falling behind us.
Yeah. It's about being creative and strategizing, whether you're working with, whether you're a seller or a buyer, and just
Yeah.
getting that plan put together so that it's successful, whether you're listing your property, getting ready to sell, or looking to buy a home or help your kids buy a home.
Yep. Good. Okay. Well, that's all I have. Anything else we need to cover or add to it?
No, not on my side.
Next week, this Wednesday, I'll be at EXPCon, which is our company EXP's annual convention in Las Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays there. So, Patricia, are you going to do this call without me, or we'll talk about that during the week? We'll figure out how to do all that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're not going, are you, to
Sounds
Vegas?
No, not this year.
Okay, guys. Well, I'm not going to tell you what's going on there because it stays there. But thanks for being on the call today. We do this every Wednesday, 5:00 or so. Live stream onto Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Thank you on behalf of Gustavo and Patricia. Thanks so much, everybody.
Thank
Thank you,
you for
Bill. Thank you,
watching.
Patricia.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.